Good morning and greetings from Northumberland on the 2nd of June. Another lovely sunny morning, although rain is expected. It's one of those things that we haven't heard very often in the last many days of this lockdown. It strikes me this morning that today would have been the first time that I put on a green stole or a green chasuble since the time that lockdown began. If you remember, we started way back in mid-Lent, and we've continued through Holy Week, through Easter, through Ascension Tide, right up to Pentecost, the great 50 days of Easter, and many of the 40 days of Lent have been occupied by this lockdown. But now it's normal time, ordinary time. And there has been a desire, by all of us, to get back to normal. It's a proper human thing. We want to get back to or move forward to something approaching where we were. I said to Lynn yesterday, do you think we'll ever handshake again? I don't mean me and her, I mean me and anybody else. How long will it be before we naturally give someone a hug? How long will it be before that distance closes and we don't look for the hand sanitizer when we go into or come out of a building? My guess is it will be quite a time. Although sometimes when you look at the beaches, you think some people have never sort of got into the new habit. We long for normality, and let's all pray that the small attempts to return to normality don't fool us into letting down our guard and to doing things that are harmful either to ourselves or to other people. But what about our Christian faith? We return to ordinary time. Green chasubles, green stoles, green hangings in our churches when we eventually get to see them, maybe in a month or two. What does that mean for us? Well, we've been through the great story of our redemption, the story of the death and resurrection of Christ and his commissioning of the church. And now we come to the time when we are living that out. How do we live out ordinary? How do we live out normal? How do we live out day by day? Well, I think the first thing to remember is that even ordinary time is precious. Even ordinary time is God's time. And even ordinary time is an opportunity to come closer to God. I've been ordained for nearly 40 years, and I'm going to make a confession. I'm not sure, but I think this period since lockdown began is the longest period I've ever experienced where in one way or another I have not skipped or missed some part of prayer, my prayer routine. There I'm beating my breast and confessing. Often we find reasons or excuses to not keep that routine. All of us. And sometimes those excuses are really good. And actually sometimes those excuses or reasons override the desire we have or the duty we have to pray. But that's not happened in these last days of lockdown because in a sense I've ordered my life and we've ordered our life to fit around these prayers that we offer in the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. And that has been a really good thing. And the one thing that I really want when I move back into a greater normality as lockdown eases, is not to lose the precious gift that I've found of this time of prayer and reflection, morning and night, being a priority. Oh, when meetings and PCCs and all these other joys start again, it will be a different sort of struggle trying to prioritize. But we wear green in ordinary time. And as someone told me many, many years ago, green is about growing. And we grow as Christians by staying close to God, by staying close to Jesus and being fed. May God bless us as we move into a new ordinary time and help us to be fed by God and to grow